Goodfella Radio Hip Hop Series. Your boy Justin D Live, Rhymefest. What up, homie?
Yeah.
We about to get it. LJ in stores right now. Let's go.
Is that Chicago mindset on deck? Zero below, Joe, you get frostbit. Oh shit, rappers garbage. Who's my target when these bars hit? Tell Steve Carell I will come spray up the office. Oh shit, he's about to spaz hit the off switch.
I've been doing a lot of heavy research on you, and it seems like your cult following is a little upset with the gap in between the last release and this release.
Well,
well,
you know, my thing is this. I have been releasing mixtapes, so like a year before Michael Jackson died, I did a Michael Jackson dedication album.
Okay.
Like I gave him his flowers while he was alive. I gave away a free album called The Manual, which had like Queen Latifah, Sadat X, Greg Nice, like all the classic artists. I recently did a pre-album called Dangerous 518. But one thing I learned is that unless you're in the market being sold, people don't look at it or respect it as an actual body of work. So, you know, it's been about 3.5, 4 years. But I had to get out of my record deal. Like I had to get out of J Records. They were holding me and like sucking my life away. And so, but what I noticed with the fans is that unless they're being sold something that they can actually pay for, they don't care about getting it free or how good it is. So what I had to do was get to a position where I can sell people shit.
Well, you know what? I do take that into account what you are saying, and I was very aware of. because I'm deep in the hip hop game, so I do get all that material passed by towards me. But I think it's an expectancy level from the musicians. From the fans at least. They get a project that's being sold, and they almost feel like, okay, you know what? This is it. You know, this is what we've been waiting for. Yeah, so I guess I made it in reference to that. But the projects in between were all very up to par.
Classic. The Michael Jackson dedication album is just as good as Fuji's The Score. You know, The Manual is a classic piece of work. I've done things that nobody in hip-hop has done or be able to bring together, but it goes back into capitalism. You know, we are conditioned as fans of hip-hop, as Americans, we are conditioned to only value that which we buy, not that which we get. It's an example. If they gave Michael Jordans away for free, people would be like, oh man, don't nobody want them cheap-ass shoes. Right. Or if they sold Michael Jordan at Walmart, even though it's a very great quality of shoe, but it's how you present it. And so I think that with the Rhymefest brand, because it took so long for me to get out of the red tape on the record label, the brand deteriorated. So what I have to do, starting with El Che, is reinvigorate my brand.
Now, when you talk about the brand, you say that you make reference to the album and the red tape. The label and the red tape, and it was sucking the life out of you. Like it seems like a lot of sincerity when you say that. Like, is there anything you want to speak about with that particular situation?
Well, I think a lot of record labels will say, okay, if this guy, because you know there were a lot of things like, man, go do a song with Kanye West. But I'm like, you know, I would tell him a song with Kanye West ain't gonna help me. It's not beneficial to me. And if you knew better, it ain't beneficial to you. Because Kanye will do songs with artists and it'll be good for Kanye and it won't nothing happen with the artist. You know what I'm saying? You had a Kanye West song. What happened? You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like labels don't understand that like to dick ride doesn't really help them make more money. You know what I'm saying? And that's what they say they're in it for. El Che is like breaking out of that, breaking out of the, you know who died slow? Gary Coleman. He died slow all his life. You know what I mean? And
I can see the analogy.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you know, when life just beats you down, the difference between Gary Coleman and Mandela is that Gary Coleman allowed life to beat him up and beat him down. Mandela was in prison like, yo, I'm going to get out and I'm taking over the country. What is that mind frame that makes you say, like even a Hitler or a Castro to say, I'm in prison, but I'm going to run this shit, versus a Mike Tyson who you beat up everybody, but the world beats you down. And so I think the difference is a certain amount of narcissism, a certain amount of delusion, a certain amount of understanding and knowing that anything can happen at any time and who you are. And I think that the reason that El Che and Rhymefest is going to be successful is because I know who I am.
Now that you kind of say that, at the question of why the name Elche, I mean, granted that's your first name, but why it's the name of the album is kind of, that's the reason exactly what you're saying. I guess you were in a position where you felt Mandela-like, and it was either to make that choice to either be positive after this point or just allow them to be.
That's exactly what it was. Languishing on a record label when they're not putting records out on you, it's like being in prison under an oppressed system. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When they're saying, okay, all you had to do was go with the program. Now you die in a hole. You know what I'm saying? But fuck that. I got out the hole. And this is the beginning of the new revolution.
But it seems to me that some artists just don't know how to get out of that position.
I think being shelved, I mean, the fortunate thing for me is that I did get a record put out. Is that they did put some backing out, you know what I mean? And it allowed me to create a brand to move from. So I thank the label for that. You know, a lot of times we're so hard on our enemies, we don't see any redeeming qualities about our enemy or any good battle strategy from them. So I try to take away what are the redeeming qualities, what did I learn? And so I think that being, in my opinion, being shelled is when you get signed and you never come out.
Is that Chicago mindset on deck? Zero below, Joe, you get frostbit. Oh shit, rappers garbage. Who's my target when these bars hit?